What is the scariest/creepiest theory you know about? If the human body senses trauma it is unable to combat, it will switch off metabolism, pump endorphins, and slip into a pain-free dissociative state. In essence, shutting down. It's been seen in air crashes, and lots of places really. Basically your body can switch itself off. During the Challenger accident from 1986, whenever the shuttle exploded, the ground crews had the astronauts' EKGs and vital the explosion. The astronauts were still alive. Theory has it that they were cognizant the entire time until they crashed in the ocean. If you die by being beheaded, the last thing you might see is your decapitated body. That humans almost went extinct. 70,000 years ago a volcano in Indonesia erupted. There's theories that we have a genetic bottleneck around that time. Took our population down to 10,00023,000 like the size of one small town. Lots of fresh genetic material died with those who were lost, and the resulting inbreeding could have resulted in some genetic diseases that have made their way into humans today. Without this event, we may have advanced faster and be healthier people today. Cosmology can be disturbing. For instance, I recently learned of dead-end trips. There are some destinations that you shouldn't try for. It's possible to travel so far away from where you started that the expansion of the universe will exceed the speed you were traveling at. You can't return home because home is receding faster than you can travel. You can't reach your destination because it too is receding faster than you can travel. You can no longer get anywhere, only get further away from everything. You cannot reach any destination, even if you travel forever. I saw a video about the theory of grey goop, in which one day we invent macro robots used to break down waste, but could somehow evolve to consume all carbon-based organic matter. This would eventually lead to them consuming all life on Earth. I was mildly freaked out by the idea of it. It'd be the most horrifying means of extinction. A lot of comments bringing up the Fermi Paradox to explain the lack of evidence of extraterrestrial life, when by all accounts we should be seeing alien life all over the universe. Here's another unsettling explanation. If you're scuba diving above a coral reef, and you know that there should be fish all around you, but you don't see any, it's most likely that they have learned that for some reason it's important not to be seen. And since you're a newcomer to this environment, chances are it's not you they are hiding from. The dark forest theory. This explains the Fermi Paradox, why we haven't seen any other advanced life forms despite the vastness of the universe. Other advanced life forms don't send out signals into the rest of the universe because they are worried that something more advanced and dangerous is going to find them first. There's another idea that other civilizations know there's something out there but don't send any signals because it has no reason to not whip in at the entire planet. That you might be aware of everything happening to you during surgery. The anesthesia keeps you from moving and causes you to forget. The theory that scented candles starting getting poor reviews at the same time COVID hit the US. Makes you wonder how many people have mild COVID before we even knew about it. Pairing the lack of taste and or smell as one of the main symptoms associated with mild COVID cases. It's scary that there are thousands of serial killers out there at any one given time who often just blend in with the rest of society and live normal lives. Many will never be caught. The one that bugs me was the one about the guy who was last seen in an airport. There's video of him just wigging the peep out and running away at full speed. They linked the surveillance footage and you can see him run all the way off the premises. He was never seen again. There's lots of theories about what happened. None I wanna look too far into. I came into this thread unafraid of death. I'm leaving petrified, thanks. This is pretty cliche, but the theory that your whole known life you've been in a coma and have imagined everything. Your family isn't really your family and everyone and everything doesn't actually exist. Then when you wake up you'll have to live through life all over again with connections you've made to fake people. that mind control actually exists. It's something that would never go public because whoever was able to perfect it first would be in the position to use it on whoever is aware of its existence. The theory that we're all quantum immortals, and when someone dies in our reality for them, they just keep on going in a reality where they didn't. Spontaneous combustion. I watched a strange but true episode about this as a child, and was convinced I'd randomly burst into flames one day. I'm over it now, but that was my top fear for a long time. This is one I had a couple days ago watching this video about Carl Sagan explaining the fourth dimension. The gist is, if we all existed in 2 dimensions we could only see or record events that happen in 2 dimensions. So if there were things in the 4th dimension we could never see, or even imagine them. Imagine a 4th direction to move in. Carl Sagan explains it beautifully, as if we were on a piece of paper. We could only see the cross-section of anything that passes through our world. I'm in a nursing home with dementia in 2060, and all I'm doing is reliving this moment of November 2020. More of a story than a theory, but it correlates to some of these, and makes me think some could be real. When I was younger I had this little stuffed animal dog guy named Rocky. One night, my younger sisters and I, who all slept in the same room, so we could hang out together, were messing around, and I two-handed overhead tossed Rocky into the wall directly in front of my bed. He hit the wall, slid down behind whatever was in front of my bed, and was never seen again. I immediately went to go get him, and he just wasn't anywhere. We tore the whole entire small room apart. We all saw the event occur. Over time the room has been completely emptied out, everything in it rearranged, walls painted, everything, and no Rocky. He just completely phased out of existence. Makes me think he glitched out of the system or something. May or not be a theory, but the first thing I thought of was that feeling you get when you're on top of a building and think, what if I jumped? Or when you're driving and think, what if I just swerve into traffic? Well, it's actually got a name. L'appel du vide. French for the call of the void. I always thought the idea of some ethereal presence calling you towards darkness creepy. That everyone you know who's dead is watching you now 24/7, even as you jerk off, and when you die they all come to greet you. I like that this thread is filled with nightmarish death/alien/apocalypse/universe ending scenarios, but the top post is about someone's mother-in-law coming to live with them. That we have so little data about the deep dark parts of the ocean and don't truly know what lurks there. Sometime in the future, if we don't disappear before, humans will probably be able to bioengineer themselves to avoid death by old age. Most probably only the richest people will get this, founding an immortal elite of dynasties that will be able to rule nations by themselves, while common people simply keep dying as always. Now almost everyone think of death as something normal and inevitable, as part of our nature. But then, in that hypothetical future, death will be seen like a disease which it's kept away from common people by that ruling elite. That the universe is infinite and there could be billions of other living organisms that all know about us and have significantly better technology and could wipe us out at any moment, but choose to leave us be because they know that we don't know about them. Kinda like some indigenous tribes that live secluded and don't know that we are this civilized and technologically advanced. Not theory but fact. The average terminal velocity of a kindergartner is 60 miles per hour. Our world is our perception of our surroundings in our three-dimensional life. It's possible that we are living amongst beings, things and events that we cannot experience because we are 3 dimensions and they are not. Years ago when I was seriously dating my now wife, almost every time we started to have PP time her mother would call up. Seemed strange, then disgusting when we found the hidden camera when moving her out. Philosophical zombies. Theory that a good portion of the human race lack conscious experience. If you've ever dissociated or done something and don't recall driven home, but have no recollection, your brain acting on autopilot, that's what they are like. They do everything required to be human. They ape emotions. Go through life. They just lack sentience. More of a philosophical idea rather than a theory. But solipsism. The idea that you are the only one that is real and that exists in this world. Everyone else and everything else is fake or is an illusion. The butterfly effect. It makes me feel like deciding whether to choose black shirts or white shirts would increase or decrease my chances of dying young. Some people have had some strange NDEs near-death experiences. Going through websites cataloging them can be a trip. I'm willing to attribute some of them to brain damage and some as legit, though I'll never be able to tell which is which. Deathbed visions give me a warmer sense of security. I can't imagine how peaceful it must be to die and see your deceased loved ones there to ensure you make it safely to the other side. The Galleon bottleneck theory. Basically, the reason we've never encountered or been contacted by aliens is because they are all dead. Every alien species that evolved to form advanced societies eventually outgrew their planet and destroyed themselves. Like we are. That we can sense when someone is watching us. So when we are alone and we get that feeling, someone is probably watching you. The universe could be dying, and we'd have no way to know until we just suddenly vanish from existence. There could be a sort of quantum energy wave. Can't remember what it's called because it's been so long since I read about it. 0 point collapse. Maybe? Vacuum bubble burst? But whatever it is, it's an energy wave that starts at some point and spreads outward at the speed of light, annihilating any matter, energy, and even space-time in its path. Because the wave travels at the speed of light, it is invisible. We would have no way of seeing it coming, because any light emitted by it would hit us at the exact same time that the wave itself hits us. So, all of a sudden, the sun might just vanish from existence. We wouldn't notice, because the sun's light from 8 minutes ago would still be reaching us. 8 minutes later, the earth just vanishes from existence. No warning. No trace. Everyone both on Reddit and outside of it is a bot except you. There is a theory which states that if ever anyone discovers exactly what the universe is for and why it is here, it will instantly disappear and be replaced by something even more bizarre and inexplicable. There is another theory which states that this has already happened. Douglas Adams. I had a professor in college who taught physics, and he explained why we will likely never come across aliens. The universe is about 14 billion years old. Over the course of that time, it's likely that intelligent life, besides life on Earth, has existed. However, 14 billion years is an insanely long time. Other life forms have probably risen and fallen thousands of times over. Extreme dynasties with technology we can only dream of having have probably existed. Life forms could have lasted hundreds of thousands of years and still not even be close to our timeline. The chances of other intelligent life forms existing at the same time as humans, in the 14 billion years the universe has hosted a possibility for life, is really unlikely. Statistically, intelligent life to have formed, prospered, or even existed at the same time as humans is extremely small simply due to the absolute drop in a bucket that we are on terms of time. We may very well be completely alone in the universe. That all intelligent life kills itself. So the theory started out with a Fermi Paradox. Basically there are so many planets in this galaxy, let alone the entire universe, that it is statistically impossible that we are the only planet that developed intelligent life. So where is everybody? Well, the secondary theory is that every intelligent species reaches the point where they have a technology that can kill their entire species, and that the vast majority end up killing themselves at that point. Those who survive this time in their history are so rare that we haven't found them, and they haven't found us. As a species we reached that point in our history with the discovery of nuclear weapons, and we're at the height of risk during the Cold War, at least thus far in our collective history, but there are various technologies that could bring a species to this point in their history. This would mean that while so far we've survived, that it's statistically unlikely we will survive long term.